Hello and welcome to my channel, your go-to source for the latest in WWE 24. Don't forget to follow and subscribe for all the updates. Let's dive right in.
Ever since becoming the general manager, Nick Aldis has been tactically managing the chaos on SmackDown. He has established himself as a stern authoritarian figure with a no-nonsense demeanor. However, Friday Night SmackDown has lately become the epicenter of chaos, with few superstars showing no regard for the rules or compliance. In regard to this, Nick Aldis could suspend a four-time world champion tonight. The name in question is none other than Drew McIntyre. The Scottish Warrior was involved in his undisputed WWE Championship defense against Cody Rhodes last week on SmackDown. This match was nothing short of chaotic, with fans witnessing absolute bedlam coupled with a title change. During the middle of the bout, there came a point when McIntyre's frustration reached its peak and he snapped. The 40-year-old knocked out the match referee, Dan Englar, with a vicious headbutt upon feeling that the latter was being partial to him. It was not the first time the Scottish Warrior laid his hands on a WWE official. He attacked Englar last year as well, delivering a vicious claymore. Now that Drew McIntyre has attacked the match referee for the second time, he could face massive consequences. Nick Aldis could be fuming in rage tonight on SmackDown as he could lambaste the former WWE champion and impose a mammoth fine on him. The general manager could issue a thunderous statement announcing that McIntyre is suspended for an indefinite period. Aldis could deem the Scottish Warrior's actions reprehensible and might be forced to make that decision. There is a good chance it happens tonight on SmackDown. However, this is currently nothing but speculation. It will be interesting to see what the general manager has in store for Drew McIntyre after what happened last week on the Blue brand. Nick Aldis may announce the main event of WrestleMania 42 Night 1. The upcoming episode of SmackDown is expected to be an explosive show as WWE has advertised several major things. The feuds and storylines for several matches could also kick off tonight. Amid this, Nick Aldis could take center stage and officially announce the main event of WrestleMania 42 Night 1. Roman Reigns is set to face CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship at the Show of Shows. This match will officially headline Night 2 in Las Vegas. There is a high chance that Randy Orton vs. Cody Rhodes will be the main event of the first night, and Aldis could officially acknowledge that tonight. Rhodes and Orton are set for a huge contract signing for their undisputed WWE Championship match on SmackDown. Nick Aldis could officiate this segment, and when everything's said and done, he could reveal that this match will headline Saturday night of WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. This could play a key role in elevating the gravitas of this championship match, making it truly look like a high-profile showdown. Therefore, WWE might officially reveal this tonight. It will be interesting to see how things unfold tonight when Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton put their signature on the dotted lines. The tension inside WWE SmackDown had been building for weeks, but no one expected it to explode the way it did. What started as a heated rivalry quickly spiraled into something far more chaotic, something that forced General Manager Nick Aldis to consider making one of the boldest decisions of his tenure: suspending a four-time world champion. Backstage, the atmosphere was already thick with unease. Superstars whispered in corners, production crew members moved with urgency, and officials kept glancing toward Aldis's office. The reason? A shocking incident that had taken place just moments after the main event the previous week, a moment that blurred the line between competition and outright rebellion. The four-time world champion, widely respected for his in-ring excellence and leadership, had completely lost control. It had all started during a high-stakes match meant to determine the next #1 contender. The champion wasn't even officially part of the bout, but tensions had been simmering ever since he felt disrespected by management decisions. When the match reached its climax, the arena lights flickered, and suddenly, he appeared. At first, the crowd erupted. This was a megastar, after all. But that excitement quickly turned into confusion. And then horror. Without warning, he stormed the ring and launched a brutal assault on both competitors. There was no hesitation, no build-up, just raw aggression. Officials rushed down, trying to restore order, but they were shoved aside like they were nothing. Even security couldn't contain him. And then came the moment that truly changed everything. A referee, attempting to de-escalate the situation, stepped in front of the champion. What happened next drew gasps from the entire arena. The champion, blinded by rage, shoved the official to the mat with force. The building fell silent. In WWE, there are lines you simply don't cross. And putting your hands on an official? That's one of the biggest. Now, days later, Nick Aldis sat behind his desk, reviewing footage of the incident over and over again. His expression remained calm, but his eyes told a different story. This wasn't just about discipline, it was about control. If he didn't act, the locker room could descend into chaos. When SmackDown went live that night, fans could feel it immediately. Something major was about to happen. Midway through the show, Aldis's music hit. The crowd responded with a mix of cheers and anticipation as he made his way to the ring, holding a microphone but saying nothing at first. He let the moment breathe, scanning the audience before finally speaking. "What happened last week?" he began, his voice steady but firm, was unacceptable. The crowd reacted instantly, some booing, others chanting for the champion. Aldis didn't flinch. "In this company, we pride ourselves on passion, intensity, and competition. But there is a line that ensures the safety and integrity of everyone involved. And that line was crossed." He paused, letting the weight of his words sink in. "I have reviewed the footage. I have spoken to officials. And I have considered all possible actions." The arena buzzed with speculation. "And now, I am ready to make a decision." Before he could continue, the familiar music of the four-time world champion hit. The reaction was thunderous. Some fans cheered wildly, others booed, but everyone was on their feet. The champion walked out slowly, a smirk on his face, completely unfazed by the situation. He stepped into the ring, standing face to face with Aldis. "You really think you're going to punish me?" he said, grabbing a microphone. "I made that match matter. I made people care. Without me, this place doesn't run, it survives." The crowd erupted again. Aldis didn't back down. "This isn't about your accomplishments," he replied. "This is about your actions." The champion laughed. "My actions? My actions put this company on the map every single week. You should be thanking me, not threatening me." For a moment, it seemed like Aldis might hesitate, but then his expression hardened. "You're right about one thing," Aldis said. "You are one of the biggest stars this industry has ever seen. A four-time world champion, a main eventer, a leader." The crowd quieted, hanging on every word. "But leadership comes with responsibility. And last week, you failed." The tension in the ring was electric. Effective immediately, Aldis continued, "You are suspended, pending further review." The crowd exploded. Some shouted in disbelief. Others cheered the bold decision. The champion's smirk vanished. "You don't get to do that," he snapped. "You don't get to sideline me." Aldis stood his ground. "Actually, I do." For a split second, it looked like things might turn physical again. The champion stepped forward, eyes blazing with fury. Security quickly flooded the ring, creating a barrier between the two men. "This isn't over," the champion yelled as he was escorted out. "You're making the biggest mistake of your career." As he disappeared up the ramp, the camera cut back to Aldis, who remained standing in the ring, calm, composed, but clearly aware of the storm he had just unleashed. Backstage, reactions poured in instantly. Some superstars supported the decision, believing it was necessary to maintain order. Others worried about the consequences. After all, suspending a star of that magnitude could shift the entire landscape of SmackDown. And then there were the rumors. Would the champion return seeking revenge? Would this suspension lead to something even bigger, perhaps a high-stakes match with Aldis himself? Or was this the beginning of a deeper storyline, one that could redefine power dynamics within WWE? One thing was certain, SmackDown would never be the same. As the show went off the air, fans were left with more questions than answers. But in the world of WWE, that's exactly how it should be. Because when a four-time world champion is pushed to the edge, the fallout is never simple. And with Nick Aldis now firmly in control, the next chapter promises to be even more explosive.